Now at 9, the Diamond City Park gets a new walking trail. Plus, local businesses in Miami hit the sidewalk to celebrate the city's annual sidewalk sale. And the annual Emancipation Celebration is taking place in Joplin this weekend. We'll let you know all about the weekend events.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Families in Diamond, Missouri came together today to celebrate the growth of the city park. This is KOAM News at 9. I'm Anthony Saviello. The park's board of Diamond held a dedication for its new walking trail, which is a quarter-mile long and helps make the park more accessible. To celebrate the new pathway, the board hosted a family fun day featuring a bounce house, a water slide, and games such as cornhole and carnival games. Community members say it's a great way for the community to come together.
It really just hits home, to come out and see that people are actually using the walking trail every day and see people coming and enjoying as a family and as a community, because we're just a small knit community and this just brings everybody together and it just makes your heart feel good.
The Diamond Park Board says they hope to continue holding community events just like this at the finished park. Dozens of local businesses and organizations joined together in Miami to take part in the city sidewalk sale, which started all the way back in 1958. Stores offered discounts and sales, and Miami's Main Street was filled with food trucks, games, and bounce houses, and even free haircuts. The sidewalk sale is a way for local businesses and organizations to help showcase themselves to new customers and display their unique crafts or food. Participants say the annual event is a great way to help unite the community around its small businesses.
We really need to promote local businesses. All these little mom and pop shops like we have here at Chapters, we need the local community support, and so it really helps to promote and grow and encourage other local business owners to open up and have their little mom and pop shops downtown too.
The sidewalk sale also featured a fundraiser where winners could get the chance to dunk Miami Mayor Bless Parker in a dunk tank. Today is the first official day of the Ottawa County Free Fair. This year marks the 105th year of the event. Kicking off activities was a dog show and a fan favorite, the tractor driving contest. The tractor contest features contestants showing off their driving abilities with large farm equipment. Participants in the year's contest say the event is a great way to start off the fair while doing something they love.
I believe this is my 6th year doing it. I went to Tulsa and done the state contest 3 times. And last year I was the state champion in the farm equipment operators contest. It feels pretty good and get to help kind of mentor some of these younger kids and go bring Ottawa County another state champion.
Ottawa County Free Fair activities will continue through next Saturday, August 10th. Well, we'll go to a first check of the weather with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
Temperature is looking pretty good, down to the mid 80s, and it feels like it. Humidity's rather low. Overnight gets a little bit higher, but during the daytime, it's pretty low, so we're not seeing high heat index value today or tomorrow. Got a nice sunset back there as well, and a pretty light northeasterly breeze across the region. 81 in Cassville, 81 in Monette, 87 still in Pittsburgh, 89 in Parsons, Chanute, still 90 in Neodesha and Independence, but overall not too bad, getting down to the lower 70s and upper 60s tonight. Like I said, we've got a light northeasterly breeze. As we see that ridge continue over our area, it's going to shift more to the south. That's when we're going to start to see a little bit more humidity moving into the area and higher temperatures. That's not until the start of the week, but I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. The overnight homeless shelter for women in Springfield has a growing need for volunteers to help offer a safe place for vulnerable women in the community. Joe Hickman has more.
As one of 9 programs that make up the Council of Churches, Safe to Sleep has provided emergency overnight shelter for over 3,700 women since 2011. The locations have changed, and efforts are underway to build a permanent facility, but after years of having enough volunteers to staff the shelter,
then insert this thing called COVID, and we lost about 70% of our volunteers right off the bat.
Kelly Harris on the left here with one of the original organizers, Ramona Baker, started out as a volunteer 13 years ago and is now the program director. She's seen the volunteer numbers remain low, but also witnessed the importance of having a safe harbor for women from the dangers of life on the streets.
Some of the situations are, it's known as survival sex, and so somebody might offer a place to stay, but you're going to have to do X, Y, Z. They get assaulted in bus stops, all kinds of horrific stories. It is not safe. It's that important for us to be there to offer that service to our ladies.
Safe to Sleep operates with teams of 2 volunteers and 2 separate shifts available with a 4-hour sleep break, and they ask that you work only 1 or 2 shifts per month.
I give up a few hours of sleep, and then around 35 women have a safe place to stay.
Amanda Stadler, here on the left with her mom, works during the day and volunteers overnight, but says she benefits as much as the people she helps.
You get more than you give out of it. And I think when, I may be grumpy because I had a bad day at work or something, and then here there's guests at the shelter that are just always so grateful. And I'm like, I don't know that I would necessarily behave that way if I was in that situation.
When you get there and you're like, wow, this impacted me maybe more than it did them. Just reminding them they are human who maybe hasn't had a hug in 5 years. The grace and dignity that you offer someone, you might never see them again, but you let them know that they matter to someone.
Coming up, what authorities advise you do when it comes to your kids and their phone. Law enforcement across the Missouri and Arkansas Ozarks wants parents to know what their children are doing on their phones and who they might be speaking to on the other side of the screen. Just this week, an Amber Alert was issued in Arkansas for a girl who was believed to have run away with someone she met online.
At the end of the day, parents do need to they need to monitor their kids, their phones and their apps and their internet usage.
For law enforcement all over the Ozarks, it's a crime that has seen a rise over the last few years, the stalking of minors online.
We have seen an uptick, and of course it kind of goes, I would say, in spurts.
For Baxter County Sheriff John Montgomery, his department deals with multiple cases a year. Just this last week, an Amber Alert was issued for 13-year-old Caden Pace from Phillips County. Investigators with the Arkansas State Police believe Pace was running away with a person she met online. Thankfully, she was found a few hours later and the man was arrested, but the situation could have turned out much worse. Sheriff Montgomery said while more and more kids are accessing social media at a younger age, he also believes that some parents aren't up to date with newer technology.
With the technology changing and new apps coming out, and it creates a challenge for parents and to monitor their children.
In a news release, Arkansas State Police encourage both parents and teenagers to know who they're chatting with online.
In a recent situation, we had a 25-year-old male who was acting as a 17-year-old boy, and he was talking to multiple groups in the community.
What predators like this one do is make a personal connection with the child. When something negative happens in the child's life, that's when they make their move.
Whenever there's a bad day at home, it turns into, I'm here to help you. I can take you away from that.
Both the sheriff and the state police suggest sitting down with your child and go over what is okay and what isn't, as it might be what keeps them safe in a fishy situation.
I would encourage parents to sit down with their kids and have an honest dialogue and say, you know what, we're here to keep you safe.
Arkansas State Police has a website designed for parents to visit for more information about the apps that their children may be using. Google's School Time, which helps to restrict what and when kids can access on mobile devices, will be coming to more devices soon, such as Android phones, tablets, and Samsung Galaxy Watches. Google introduced the limit setting options on its Fitbit Ace LTE smartwatches in May. School Time gives parents function control, such as setting device use limits during school hours, and yet lets kids be reached during emergencies by calls and messages from certain allowed contacts. Just which Android phones and tablets will get the School Time compatibility isn't yet known. Customers across Missouri and Arkansas may soon start seeing letters warning them about another data breach affecting their personal information. Chris Bryant reports on this latest breach and how you can protect yourself.
And feel like we're constantly getting notifications or seeing something in the news about a data breach. So it almost feels a little bit more like not if, but when.
Ticketmaster has sent letters to customers informing them of a data breach of a third-party data service provider.
As a consumer, you can do all of your research, do all the precautions, take everything right, and things can still happen.
The letter states that Ticketmaster was informed of 3 different dates the data was accessed by an unauthorized party. Those dates are April 2nd, May 18th, and May 23rd, all of this year. Some of the information collected includes names, basic contact information, and credit or debit card numbers and expiration dates.
There are a number of steps that they can take that don't cost anything. They don't have to sign up with a special service. So they can go put a credit freeze on their credit report on their own. They can take steps to go about changing all their passwords and using a password manager tool. Just simply monitoring their credit. If they don't want to sign up for a credit freeze or put a credit alert, get your free credit report every year.
The website IT Governance shows this year there's been more than 2,700 publicly disclosed incidents affecting more than 6.8 billion known records.
If you do get one of these notices in the mail, to understand the steps that you need to take to protect yourself is very important. You want to minimize the damage.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, both former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are pushing forward on the campaign trail.
Weather's been pretty nice this weekend. I know it's still hot, but it hasn't been as humid. Let's go ahead. We'll take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Looking pretty good. We had a few clouds, but overall it was a pretty nice night. Humidity starts to drive back up as we move into the overnight hours, but temperatures drop, so it won't be a problem. Tomorrow we're also going to be pretty dry as well. Temperatures are still rising, so it's going to be a little bit warmer than it was today, but still not so bad. Today we got up to about 94 out in Joplin, surrounding counties a little bit higher, and our low is about 65. So we're a little bit above average for our high, a little bit below average for our low. Same thing goes for tonight. Temperatures start to drop down to the lower 70s, upper 60s for most of our counties. Again, we're not having any rainfall, not until end of next week. So we're going to stay dry, which is a little bit of a problem for drought. We are in those dry conditions, not quite drought, but creeping back into drought territory. Also have a little heat risk for today, minor. When we move into Sunday, it's a little bit more moderate, especially out in those western counties with heat index getting up to the upper 90s. Not a big threat. Not until Monday we start to see a little bit higher of a moderate risk for heat. Monday and Tuesday are going to be our hottest days, but until then, looking all right. Temperatures going to be sunny all day. Temperatures start off lower 70s, rise to about upper 80s by noon. We're going to get up to upper 90s, about 96 for our high out in Joplin. Western counties a little bit higher, eastern counties a little bit lower. Again, humidity is going to stay pretty low though, so it's not going to be too bad, especially in the shade. It might even feel pretty nice. We'll have still a northeasterly breeze through tomorrow, so a nice little breeze going on. Then we start to see that high pressure shift over our area. By Monday and into Tuesday, winds shift coming out of the south, bringing us a little bit more humidity, that southern Gulf air into our area. Temperatures start to rise to the upper 90s, even reaching about 100 in some areas. And like I said, with those humidity levels rising, Monday and Tuesday are going to be pretty hot. 99 on Monday, 98 on Tuesday, Wednesday 96, Thursday 94, and then after some rain showers, we drop down to mid 80s. We stay in that mid to upper 80s range for the weekend. Then we start to warm back up. It is August, so we're not quite out of the heat just yet.
Man, dang it. Can it be over already, please?
We just started August. I'm going to need you to slow your roll. We got another
fair.
couple of weeks, into middle of September.
You know what it is?
What?
It's more of an excuse to like go out on the creek or,
That's a
go
good point.
to the lake.
I do, and I don't mind getting up super early. Today I got to go to the Webb City Farmers Market with Willow. We went on a run this morning.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, morning feels nice. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, the latest on the campaign trail.
Former President Trump is spending his weekend in Georgia trying to win back a state he narrowly lost 4 years ago. I'm Mark Meredith in Atlanta. We'll have the latest from the campaign trail coming up.
A brewing debate over where to hold the first debate between former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Fox News correspondent Mark Meredith has the latest.
Trump is now proposing to debate Harris on Fox News on September 4th, but the Harris campaign says it wants to stick to the debate he originally planned to do with ABC less than a week later. Harris is accusing the former president of trying to skip out on the debate, but Trump says his commitment to ABC was to debate Biden and not the vice president. Meantime, on Friday, the vice president officially clinching enough votes from the Democratic delegates to secure her party's nomination. The next step, choosing a running mate. One of the top contenders, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, he spoke to Fox, coming to the vice president's defense on her handling of the border.
So she's done a good job. There, absolutely. Numbers are down below about 1,500 per day because of the actions of Vice President Harris.
Other potential picks include some popular Democratic governors, Kentucky's Andy Beshear, Minnesota's Tim Walz, and Pennsylvania's Josh Shapiro, who campaigned for Harris earlier this week.
I want a future where I can look the 47th president of the United States in the eye and say, hello, Madam President.
Vice President Harris is expected to name her running mate within a matter of days, and then the two of them are going to engage in a 7-state battleground stop tour. In Atlanta, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
Up next, taking a deep dive under the sea. New movie set in the world of SpongeBob SquarePants features Sandy Cheeks, the squirrel, in the title role. Rick Damigella has that story and more in the Hollywood Minute.
Good morning, Bikini Bottom! Good morning, Sandy.
Sandy Cheeks gets top billing in Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie.
You know, it's funny because everybody says it's about time, and I'm like, you know, the polite thing is like, yes, it's great. It's come together when it, yes, it's about time. It's an origin story. We're learning where she came from. We're learning more about who she is and why she is. We're learning that she is as fully capable of saving the world as we thought.
The animated adventure is now streaming on Netflix. Every Breath You Take from the Police's Synchronicity is among the album's enduring songs, which can be heard almost anywhere.
One of the hallmarks, for some reason with the music of the Police, that it's never gone away. You know, some bands come, they go, you hear them for, they have a minor hit and then it disappears and the band disappears. Not so with the Police. Our stuff has always been, I'm in a hotel in Brazil right now. I get in the elevator and they're playing one of the tracks. It's like this all over the world.
Expanded editions of Synchronicity, including 6 CD and 4 LP variants, are out now. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, no good for Wall Street.
Fox Business Network, more coming up.
A St. Louis man whose murder conviction was overturned sees St. Louis for the first time again after 34 years behind bars. Justina Coronel has more.
All of this is new. This wasn't new when I left. There's a lot of communities in the inner city that could have used this money to fix up all those vacant buildings and vacant lots. This is beautiful. Look at this. But at the same time, though, they still, like I say, still took away from the city. Because at the end of the day, my heart is with the people of St. Louis. This is one of those Marty Fry moments, like Back to the Future. I mean, seriously, here it is. A telephone, a cell phone, I'm still oblivious to it. I saw my wife work it, and I'm amazed. And no matter what a person say, I know it's gonna take me at least a long time to try to understand how to actually function one. Because I'm still stuck on quarters and payphones. I'm still stuck with Ataris and ColecoVisions. I'm still stuck on catching a bus as opposed to the Metrolink. Okay, St. Louis, it's good to be home. And I missed it. My greatest advice to you, learn something today that you didn't know yesterday, so you can teach somebody tomorrow, so they can be an inspiration to the future. And from that, all I can say is, I'm back, St. Louis. I'm back.
The annual Emancipation Celebration takes place this weekend at Ewart Park in Joplin. The celebration does not take place on Juneteenth because history tells us it took months for enslaved people in our area to hear about their new freedom. Celebration is a way to remember and celebrate the history and culture of African American people in the Joplin area. But organizers say that it does not mean it's exclusive.
This celebration is for everyone. We invite everyone to come down, experience some African American culture, learn about the history, learn about the achievement, and just come, and it's an all-inclusive event. It's fun. It's a family event. We have something for everyone. We have stuff for kids every night, every day. We have a car show. We have church in the park. So we have a lot of things. We try to include everyone.
Events continue tonight and into Sunday. The event is free to attend. Those who make their way will be able to have plenty of food to choose from and a chance to listen to some live music as well as a car show tomorrow. The Kansas man who admitted to stealing a Jackie Robinson statue earlier this year was sentenced to 15 years in prison on Friday. 45-year-old Ricky Aldretti pleaded guilty earlier this spring to multiple charges, including theft and aggravated burglary. The statue was stolen from a Wichita park in January and was later found burned and in pieces inside a trash can at the baseball park. During Friday's hearing, Aldretti apologized to the city of Wichita and League 42. He was also ordered to pay more than $41,000 to League 42. Stocks took a tumble following the release of a disappointing jobs report. Fox Business Network's David Asman has this story and more on tonight's Fox Means Business.
Job growth slowing down big time. The government says there were 114,000 jobs created in July. That's way less than analysts expected and a lot fewer than the previous month. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate edged higher to 4.3%, the highest level it's been since October of 2021. The dismal labor report sparking another sell-off on Wall Street Friday. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all closed sharply lower. In fact, the NASDAQ is now in correction territory, which means at least 10% from its recent high. And it was a bad week for the market overall. The Dow snapped a 4-week winning streak. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ were down for the third time in a row. And finally, gas prices are inching lower as we head into the weekend. AAA says the national average cost for regular is now $3.48 a gallon. That's 3 cents cheaper than it was a week ago. That's business. I'm David Asman.
Coming up, a Missouri community is mourning the loss of one of its protectors.
It's been a lot better the last couple of days. Still hot, but not as humid. We're having a good night tonight too. We'll go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Got a light breeze out of the northeast. Temperatures dropping down to the lower 70s, upper 60s, and a few clouds, but overall not much else is going on tonight. Temperatures today got up to about 94 with our low at about 65. So we're a little bit lower than average for our low and a little bit higher than average for our high temperature today. Not near any records, which is a good thing. I know we're not trying to set any records. We're just trying to get through August, hopefully without too many heat-related issues. We've had a few clouds that are now moving out of here. A few more clouds going to move in. But overall, it's going to be a pretty good looking night. We don't have any rain in the forecast until end of the week next week. We do have heat starting to creep back in at the end of the week and into early next week as well. So today, not so bad. We had a minor risk, not really much else going on. Tomorrow, starting to see a little bit more of a moderate risk creeping into those western counties. Then we move into Monday, moderate risk for most of us, southeast and even still the western counties. So we are starting to see humidity creep back up, temperatures rise again as we move into Monday and Tuesday. But starting your day tomorrow, it's looking pretty good. Start off low 70s. Going to be sunny all morning long. Temperatures rise pretty quickly to upper 80s and even 90s by noon tomorrow. We're getting up to upper 90s for our high. Humidity is still going to stay pretty low, so it's not so bad, especially with a nice northeasterly breeze tomorrow, about 5-10 miles per hour. And if you're in the shade, it's going to be not so bad, pretty cool out there. And we start to see high pressure move over our area. Winds start to shift out of the east and then the southeast as we move into Monday and Tuesday, bringing in a little bit more of that Gulf moisture, some more humidity into the area, along with temperatures rising to the upper 90s and even reaching triple digits. So we're seeing a little bit of a spike in temperatures Monday and Tuesday, 99 on Monday, 98 on Tuesday, plus a little bit higher of humidity. So heat index values upper 90s and even reaching low hundreds. We may see a couple of heat advisories, especially Monday, maybe into Tuesday. Temperatures start to drop back down Wednesday. Thursday, about 94. We've got a few isolated showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday, and then temperatures drop down to mid 80s by Friday. Saturday, upper 80s for most of the area. So we've got a nice looking weekend next weekend. More rain chances, but unfortunately temperatures do start to rise back up into the mid 90s. It is still August.
You know, when I was a kid, I always thought like 99 was such a cool like temperature, and then now that I'm an adult, I just feel miserable.
Why did you think it was
I don't
a cool
know,
temperature?
because like the bigger the number, the better it was. You know, 100 was awesome. But
Okay, I didn't think that. I will be so honest. I loved the 80s.
Yeah.
But now that I'm an adult, sunny and 75. That's prime time. That is perfect.
Perfect.
That is
Yeah.
perfect. They have songs about it. So
That's true.
It is.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, for those suffering from allergies this year, there is some mixed news when it comes to how this summer compares to last summer. Chris Bryant consulted an allergy specialist and the Ozarks Health Department about the season so far.
We're pretty on track with what we've been in the past few years. At this time of season, mold is peaking, so you're going to see pretty high numbers.
This year, the Springfield-Greene County Health Department has reported 19 days with high or very high mold counts. That compares to 18 days a year ago.
We're going to start to see like a switch into more of like weeds. So ragweed's going to be like the common culprit, and that's going to be causing the most allergies.
And it's not only the allergies that affect those seeking relief in the summer.
Just harder for my patients to breathe when it's humid outside.
The summer allergy season has been pretty much the same this year for allergists at Cox Health. However, there are some over-the-counter remedies that will help with the seasonal allergies that you can pick up for relief.
Over the counter is actually where all my medications are that I recommend. So you just have to know how to put them together. People don't realize it, but nasal sprays and nasal steroids in particular are probably more effective than just your regular antihistamines like cetirizine and Claritin or loratadine.
With wait times to see an allergy specialist at Cox Health taking 6 to 8 months, the best place to start is with your primary care doctor when it comes to treatment that is non-urgent. And not all sneezes are a sign of allergies. It might be environmental.
Sometimes they come to see me and I do testing and there's nothing that shows up. And they're like, I can't believe it. It's like, well, sometimes that happens, and it's really just your nose kind of dealing with just the temperature changes or the dust that just irritates it. Like anybody that goes into a dusty attic's going to sneeze. It doesn't mean they're allergic to the dust in it. It's just so much particles that you can't really handle.
With fall right around the corner, some sufferers could see the allergy season come to an end.
First major frost, that's usually late October, early November is when we usually expect it.
Coming up in sports, a former Missouri Southern athlete wins a medal at the Paris Olympic Games. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws play in a big game on their home field. Brock Baldridge brings us the highlights from tonight and more.
A former Missouri Southern Lion takes the world's biggest stage in the final round of the men's shot put in the 2024 Olympic Games. And this athlete also had a chance to make history for his home country of Jamaica. What a day it was for Rajendra Campbell, who goes on to win the bronze medal in the final round of the men's shot put for Team Jamaica. And Campbell is the first athlete to ever win a medal for his home country of Jamaica in the men's shot put. And the difference in this event was the second attempt in the final round, where he threw for 22.15 meters, not far away from setting that Olympic record. And for those who remember in the 4 states, Campbell was a member of the Missouri Southern men's indoor and outdoor track and field team from 2018 to 2021. So here's the final results of the men's shot put. As you see here, the individuals who finished in the top 5 Ryan Krauser and Joe Kovacs win gold and silver for Team USA, and Rajendra Campbell comes in at third place to take home the bronze medal. A nice piece of hardware as he adds to his collection. Well, the Webb City Little Leaguers are off to a good start in the Midwest Region Tournament. Webb City moves on to face Team Iowa in the winner's bracket. So this game got off to a slow start than expected due to the rain delays in Whitestown, Indiana. But Webb City Little League team pulls off an impressive comeback win. Webb City beats Iowa 3-2, and Levi Smith was a hero in this game as he had a walk-off two-run double to the fence. So Webb City is playing as Team Missouri. They move on to play Wednesday at 10 a.m. on national television on ESPN. Well, from the little leagues to the big leagues now. Cardinals at Cubs. First inning, Alec Burleson turns and burns this one deep to right field, and that ball is going to land in the basket. Burleson thinks it's a double right here, but after a review, the ball clearly hits the basket, so solo home run. St. Louis leads 1-0. We go to the bottom of the first now. Cubs respond quickly as Michael Busch squares one up and hits that deep into the bleacher bums out there, and that's gone for a two-run homer. That gives Chicago a 2-1 lead. So here's where things get really crazy. Top of the eighth, Cubs lead 4-2. 2 outs. Nolan Arenado pops one up to center field, and Pete Crow Armstrong can't make the play, and St. Louis ties the game. It's now 4-4. We go to the bottom of the ninth now. Cards lead 5-4. Nico Horner lines one, but Lars Nootbaar is there for the final out. Cardinals come from behind to get the victory. St. Louis wins it 5-4. Royals and Tigers facing off in Detroit. Really tough game to swallow for Kansas City tonight. They lose an extra inning 6-5 after Winslow Perez hits a walk-off single. Royals will look to win the series tomorrow afternoon. Well, at Joe Becker Stadium, the Joplin Outlaws are fighting for a playoff spot in the Mid-America League, facing the Sherman Shadowcats tonight. First inning here, Corson Hastings. It's a line drive sharply into the right field corner, and that's trouble. Sherman gets on the board first as the Shadowcats lead 1-0. We go to the bottom of the first now. Sherman leads 2-0. Rayvon Morgan hits a chopper to third and grounds out, but the local kid Brett Sarwinski scores and cuts the lead in half. It's now a 2-1 ball game. We head to the third inning now. CJ Sapicki hits a missile right back up the middle into center field. That scores Rayvon Morgan, and that now ties the game 2-2. We go to the top of the fourth now. Diego Lopez on the mound. What a game he's had. Gets the call, strike 3 right here. And then, very next hitter, he'll ground out to second base. And this game is still in progress, and at last check, we're tied up 2-2 going to extra innings. And the United States men's basketball team plays in their final game of pool play in the Olympics. The U.S. beats the Puerto Rican national team 104-83. Anthony Edwards scores a game-high 26 points, and the St. Louis native, Jason Tatum, scored a double-double in this one as Team USA will face Brazil in the quarterfinals round this Tuesday. Well, that's your look for sports. We're back with more news right after this.
A Missouri canine officer has died after being left in a hot patrol car. As Robert Townsend explains, police say an air conditioning warning system failed to activate in the handler's patrol car.
According to a bio on the Arnold Police Department's website, 4-year-old Vader was very energetic, loved coming to work, playing fetch, and being around people. In a Facebook post, police said the Belgian Malinois died from heat exhaustion after his handler left him in a running patrol car with the air conditioning on. When Vader's handler returned, he discovered the AC malfunctioned.
The police treat these dogs like a part of their family.
Arnold police further said they consider canines left in running patrol cars as necessary and common practice when the canine partner is not actively engaged in police work. Vader was immediately taken to a local vet clinic where police say he showed signs of improvement. He then was transported to a 24-hour clinic where sadly he passed away. Dr. Stuart Robson is the founding partner and medical director at Fox Creek Veterinary Clinic in Kirkwood.
The vast majority of people, they should never leave their dog unattended in a car. The police is different. They have a duty, to protect us, and they would do anything to to protect those dogs.
Arnold Police Department's canine cars are equipped with an air conditioning alarm system. It's supposed to notify the handler by phone, activate the emergency lights and siren, sound the car horn, activate cooling fans, and roll down the car windows if the temperature increases to a certain level. Police also say that system failed to activate.
I'm sure they're sticking by it.
Up next, celebrating the perfect picnic snack. With summer heat at full tilt, it's time to cool off with a summer picnic staple. Today is National Watermelon Day, which comes around every August 3rd. Some fun facts about watermelons: they're about 90% water and come in an estimated 1,200 varieties. Go ahead and pick one up at the grocery store or local farmer's market, or visit a pick your own watermelon patch. Cut it up into wedges and make a fruit salad. You can post your favorite to social media using the hashtag National Watermelon Day. With seeds or without seeds?
You know, when I was a kid, obviously the whole running joke is like you eat a seed and you grow a watermelon in your belly. But my grandpa had a big belly, and he said that's what happened to me, and it scared me. I think I'd prefer seedless, but gotta go natural. So I'll eat the seeds. I'll just pick them.
You will eat the seeds?
No, I mean I'll eat the seeded watermelon.
You just pick out the
Thank
seeds.
you.
Okay.
But you mentioned there were how many varieties? I thought there was just
1,200.
you had the one or the yellow. I've seen the yellow watermelon.
I haven't eaten all 1,200, so I couldn't tell you.
All right, that's a new task for me.
All right. Well, that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.